Hey y'all, it's Chicken Little Carnivore because I eat very little chicken. It's a true story. I eat very little chicken. Um, so I don't know. Maybe you're a Christian, maybe you're not. I seriously doubt you're a Christian if you're on this channel, because I am definitely not a Christian. And here's just another reason, Bible talk, why I'm not a Christian. The churches today, they teach that you put God first, and then your family second, and then work comes in a dead last. Work is third. Work is the dead last. You wonder why? Check out the research on this. I'm not going to link anything. You can do your own research, people. Come on. The divorce rate in the Christian church is higher than it is in the secular world. Isn't that supposed to be the other way around? Seems to me it is, but the divorce rate is higher in the Christian church than in the secular world. And why is that? Maybe it's because they're not actually following what the Bible teaches. Because the example that the donkey god set from Egypt, better known as Yahweh, okay, of the Jews, Hebrews, Jews, whatever. I think YouTube flags it when you say Jew. I don't give a fuck. So they demonetize people for even using the word Jew. What the hell? I'm not monetized anyway. I don't give a fuck. So the example that's set forth in Genesis, in the very first book of the Old Testament, what did God do? Before he did anything else, he went to work. That's right. He went to work, making everything. Creating this, that, and the other thing. He created everything. And that old saying that there's nothing new under the sun, that's a fact. There's nothing. The only thing that could possibly be new under the sun would be a thought that no one else has ever thought before. That's the only thing that could be new under the sun. Because everything that we have here is made out of the same shit. They have these discoveries. Oh, we discovered this, but it was already here. Okay, now who made it? I don't fucking know. I call the entity Father. You can call the entity whatever you want to call it. I don't care. So the first thing that the Old Testament God did was he went to work. Now, this is just opposite of what the church, the modern day Christian church, teaches. Because remember, they teach God first, family second, work comes in dead last. But the example given in the Bible, in Genesis, is God went to work first. All right? Then what did he do? He created the family. Okay, so God went to work, and then he created the family. So they got that middle part right. All right. And then what did he do after that? Well, being the jealous God that he is, and he's also kind of petty and small. He's not a really, really great big God. He's petty and he's small. The Jewish God. Well, he sat down and worshipped himself, patting himself on the back. What a good God I am. What a good boy I am. Look at what I did. I did all of that. I made all of that. I did that. That may or may not be true. But I'm telling you that the Christian church has it completely backwards. Because without work, you can't take care of your family. Okay? And God has to be in there somewhere for some people, but not for everybody. God isn't for everybody. There's a lot of people that get along just fine through life without any God of any kind. So they've got it backwards. It's work first, family second, and then God comes in a distant last. Okay? And I don't think that worship is akin to warship, warship, because there's been more wars fought in the name of this Yahweh character than you can possibly imagine. People died by the millions and millions and millions. Check out the Inquisition. Check out what happened with the Catholics. All right? So a God to me, a supreme being, would not be anything like what the Yahweh character is. Petty, small, demanding worship, having to have animal sacrifices that are supposed to carry over the sin until the great Jesus Christ, Yeshua, shows up, and he's the ultimate sacrifice. All a bunch of hogwash. It's all just a remade story from the beginning. It's actually a remade story from Egypt. Honestly, Moses is a remade story from before Moses. You can look all this up. Okay, all of this is it's readily available knowledge. The Sumerian culture is one of the oldest on earth, and according to modern day, okay, because there might be somebody older than that we don't even know about. That's a fact. What about the giants? All of these things. The Nephilim, they're called, I guess, the Nephilim. So, Set was the donkey god of Egypt. Set, represented by the moon, was in opposition to Ra, represented by the sun. They were brothers, and one was evil, one was good, apparently. I don't know, man. I really don't know. But I do know that this Yahweh character, I've heard it said, what's the greatest deception that the devil ever pulled? And that was to convince everyone that God does not exist. And I will tell you right here, right now, that's not the greatest deception that the devil ever pulled. Okay? The devil being Set, all right? The greatest deception that Set, the devil, the adversary, Satan, Lucifer, whatever, ever pulled was to convince you that he is actually God by taking the form of Yahweh. That right there is the facts. That is 100% the facts. And if you can't deal with that, okay, I'm not asking you to, I guess. I'm just telling you that that's the understanding that I have, because I do nothing but research, y'all. I mean, I play games on my phone, I research, and I work. And that's all I do. I got nothing better to do with my life or my time. And then I share some of this stuff that I come up with. And by the way, these aren't just my theories. These are pretty much accepted theories on people that have walked away from Christianity. Okay, they've gotten away from the traditions and all of that have to do with this Jesus Christ character. Understanding that when the sun walked on water, it was just merely the sun going down. Okay? So, and does the sun heal you? Yes, absolutely. The sun is antiseptic. If you've got a wound on you and you go out in the sun, that wound will heal a lot faster. No doubt about that. So the sun is very healing. So I think that's about it for today. It's kind of a good day for me. Something happened. I got a call from the boss. Real quick story about work. I got a call from the boss just today, and he said, well, I got to talk to you about something. And he's a new boss. And I said, well, am I in trouble for something? He said, well, yes and no, not really. I said, oh, okay. He said, well, somebody told me that you were talking about him. I said, oh, you mean yesterday when I told the new guy that the guy training him was an asshole and that he's a cocksucker and that he's not to be trusted. He says, yeah, that. And he laughed. And he said, well, it got back to him and he's all fucking butthurt about it and shit. And I said, dude, I didn't say anything that he hasn't said about himself. He has called himself an asshole more times than I can count. And I got 10 fingers, y'all. I've been a carpenter all my life, and I still got 10 fingers. So, more times than I can count, the guy he's a self-proclaimed asshole. And he literally sent me a text message back when he was a boss, about probably 3-4 months ago. He said, I would rather suck a dick than let anyone do whatever it is they want to do up here. And I'm like, who the fuck even says that? Who the fuck even says that? Unless they're actually a cocksucker. Right? And so that made the boss laugh, and I said, look, man, that the reason I'm not a boss is because I've been a boss and it sucks having to deal with fucking people problems. And this right here is exactly why I'm not a boss. I didn't mean to cause you any problems. And he knows me. He knows I'm a fucking good worker and I'm a good dude. So it was funny, and it still is. But now you know what? You find out who you can trust with information and who you can't. Can't trust the new guy. Can't trust the asshole. And there's one more here that I definitely cannot trust with any information at all. You see, what's the easiest way to find out if you can trust somebody? Talk shit about somebody else to them. If it gets back to you, yeah. Now, what should the guy have done? A real man. See, he wanted to get me in trouble because I got him in trouble for being a fucking cocksucker to me. All right. When he was a boss, he was just straight up dick. And I got him in trouble for that. Which is, by the way, is one of the reasons that he's not a boss anymore. Because of me. And so what does he do? He tries to come back at me. Retribution, right? Trying to get back at me. And it didn't work. Because the new boss isn't that stupid. He's really, really pretty damn smart. And he's an excellent listener. And that's great because I'm an excellent talker. So what he should have done was come to me. Say, hey man, I heard you was talking shit about me. And I would have been honest with him. Yes, I was. I called you an asshole and a cocksucker. And I would have explained to him exactly why I did that. Because you label yourself those things. So, well, that's it for today. It's Chicken Little. Don't be an asshole. Whatever you do, go through life, just don't be a fucking asshole. And definitely, unless you're into that sort of thing, don't be a cocksucker. It's Chicken Little. And I'm out.